Hey everyone, Callie here again, and today I'm taking a look at a deck that actually won the Salt Lake City Regionals recently. This is the Arceus Goodra deck. So if you haven't seen this one before, this runs the Goodra kind of as its star player. With that rolling iron attack, you do 200 damage, and then your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 80 less damage from attacks. So very tanky Pokemon. Really that's what this deck is all about, is kind of trying to tank some hits, make sure that you can survive 2 or 3 hits and make it really difficult for your opponent to knock you out. Moisture Star kind of helps us with that as well. For your V-Star ability, you can, during your turn, heal all damage from this Pokemon. So again, a great way to kind of heal up. We're not always going to use that ability though, because we do run an Arceus as well. Obviously, it can help us accelerate. Goodra does have a little bit more difficult of energy requirements to power up. So Trinity Nova and the ability from the V obviously help us do that. And then we'll also be using Starburst. Starburst, obviously a great ability to go find 2 cards that you need when you need them. In addition to that, we got lots of ways to help tank some damage. We have Hyper Potions to help us last. You discard an energy, and then you heal for 2 energy rather, and you heal for 120. The Crystal Caves help us for the same reason. Lets us heal 30 damage from our Dragon-type Pokemon once per turn. And then we got Big Charms to also help us be a little bit beefier against certain types of decks. Beyond just tankiness, we've got some other things to help us out. We've got the Melonies to, again, help us accelerate some energy, draw some cards. Roxanne's, Marnie's, Avery's to both disrupt our opponent's board and their hand. You got stuff like Path to the Peak, only running 1 copy of this, but can be very helpful in certain situations to shut down enemy Palkias or Arceuses. Zoroarks, lots of different stuff running around that you want to shut down with this sometimes. And we don't really need it too much. We just have our 1 VSTAR power. After we've used that, we don't really care anymore. One other thing I do want to, or a couple other things I do want to mention is, one, you do have Colress in here. We don't really care too much about Lost Zone with this deck, but this is actually a really good card to help keep cards in your hand, or draw cards rather, while not having to discard resources from your hand. There's many times where you don't want to use like a Research or a Marnie or something like that that makes you get rid of your hand because you'll lose your Hyper Potions, or something else that you really need, maybe like a Switch, or whatever. Most of the time it's the Hyper Potion that you're really caring about there. But again, great way to see some cards without having to lose stuff from your hand. Other great thing I want to mention as well is the Big Parasol. Very helpful against your Giratinas because it makes it so that V-Star ability just doesn't work on you. And then Sableye also can't hit you either. So it helps make sure that your bench doesn't get picked off by putting this on your active Pokemon and keeping the rest of your stuff safe. Let's take a look at this deck and see how we can do. Okay, so we've got a pretty terrible opening hand. So let's go find an Arceus. And pass. Looks like we're playing against some kind of Arceus. What could it be? We don't really know yet. Could be a Goodra. Maybe we're playing against the mirror matchup. I almost kind of want a path here. I feel like we're going to have to Starbirth, and then we can path. So let's Starbirth, and we're going to find Goodra. And what else do we want? We did discard an energy. So if we find a double turbo, well, let's find the Melony. Get this down. We're gonna Melony onto here. Not what we wanted to see. Let's just switch into our Arceus. Use Path to the Peak. Question is, do I want to equip an energy to my Arceus? I mean, I kind of feel like I do in case I just draw a regular energy. Because really what we're trying to do here is charge up our Goodra. Right, so unfortunately that's going to be all we can do. Hopefully if they've got their evolution, they don't have a way to bounce our path here. Okay, they just Power Edge. Interesting. Well, unfortunately we don't find an energy. So we do nothing here. I mean, maybe we quick ball for another Arceus in case we get knocked out. Our opponent doesn't seem to be in an amazing spot. But we aren't either. Okay, so we find a double turbo. That at least lets us hit this thing. Then let's power up our Goodra. And see what our opponent does. I mean, right now it seems like we might just kind of win because our opponent doesn't have anything, because I think we are just playing against a Goodra deck. But that's not going to be enough for them. We're just going to go up with our Goodra and win. Like the best game, or like kind of the way you want to win a match, but I mean, I guess we'll just take it. I guess our opponent's playing Mew. Definitely, that's what it looks like. I haven't played a Mew in a while. That was a pretty good draw. Yeah, that was definitely a good draw off the top. Let's go ahead and equip an energy there. That way we can potentially Starbirth for another energy. And then get our Goodra charged up and get some damage on this Mew. I guess, yeah, I guess actually we can knock out this Mew if he doesn't retreat. Yeah, that will knock out the Mew if he doesn't retreat. But let's see what our opponent does. We're gonna do the typical Mew stuff. Go get Genesects. Draw a bunch of cards. So it looks like they're trying to thin out right now. Okay, so they do switch out. Unfortunately, we don't knock out the Genesect. Oh, they Marnie us. That sucks a little bit. So we find a Colress, and we got some quick balls. Let's start off with the Colress. Okay, let's start off with the Colress. Find some energy. We find an Ultra Ball. So I think we can still do what we said we were going to do. They do get the Oricorio down, which reduces the damage. But I definitely think we want to evolve because we need to find... one of our other energies. But I kind of want to get down... Gardevoir, I think. I feel like Marnie's super helpful against Mew. I want to get down a second Goodra. No, I think I want to get down a second Gardevoir. So we'll Starbirth. And a Goodra VSTAR and get a double turbo. Oh, we've already equipped for turn. When did I equip for... I equipped to the Goodra. That's why I wasn't doing that. Blah. Dumb. Well, unfortunately, they get the gram off the gram. Dang, that was really stupid. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us. It might. One good thing for us is that they can't like one-shot our Arceus with this version. Mew's doing Mew stuff. Hopefully they fail this one. Okay, so they do. They're playing the new variant. So let's Colress first. I guess we don't really need another Arceus. Yeah, we don't really need any of those things right now. Let's just... I guess we maybe want to find another Goodra later with this. I guess we're probably gonna Marnie anyway. What do we want in the deck? Probably the energy. So we'll Trinity Nova, do some damage. Yeah, we definitely need the energy in the deck. It's not too bad that we're equipping some extras here, because we might want to, I want a Hyper Potion later. I'm almost wondering if they're going to use this other Mew to jump back into their deck. Okay, so they boss us up. They got plenty of Genesects. They can draw lots of cards again. Find some more pieces. So they are using Fusion Strike energies. Really weird. Like, is this the Meloetta version or is it not? Maybe like a mix between the two. Okay, so they switch into a fresh one. That makes sense. It does mean that we have a damaged one on the bench that they can't Psychic Leap from. Freaking Mew. Alright, Mew, that's enough. You've done enough things. Yes, they are running Meloetta version. I guess they're just doing a mix of the two with the Averys. That was close. So I guess let's Melony. We find a Hyper Potion. And, we're potentially gonna need Big Charm. I guess the Parasol doesn't really help us in this matchup. It saves us from the glistening drops. guess we're just gonna rolling iron. Our opponent does only have 10 cards left in their deck. They have run through like the entire deck. Used a lot of their resources. They probably still have a boss available, I guess, maybe, because they are running a decent amount of supports. At this rate, our opponent might just deck themselves. Not really sure what else they still have left. They're down to 2 cards. Okay. All right, and we win. Well, that was kind of a silly game. But I mean, that's kind of the Goodra for you. You know, we tanked just that one more hit that we needed to do. All right, that's gonna do it for this video. Just a little short one, showing a couple games today. Well, kind of really one game. The first one doesn't really count too much. But you could see in that Mew deck how we were able to tank some damage. We didn't really kind of get going until a little bit later, but we were able to survive just enough hits to be able to stay in that match and win the game, you know, which is really what you're trying to do with this deck. So if you did like the video, go ahead and give it a like. Be sure to subscribe as well. I do lots of Pokemon unboxings and deck showcases like this. So if you like this kind of stuff, you won't want to miss more. With that said, I'll see you in the next one.